That's crazy for real. FTMO just announced that effective today, they won't allow US clients to buy new FTMO challenge. That means that if you live in the US and you're not already trading with FTMO, you will have to find a new prop firm. And this is exactly what I will share with you today in this video. I live in your neighbor country, Canada, so I hope I won't be affected as well by this news, but I know exactly how you feel. You probably remember what happened with the Canadian company myforexfunds. Well, just before they closed down, I passed the 100K challenge. Here's their email. And I was actually in the middle of my phase 2, and many of my students were also funded with them, and I'm sure many of you are still waiting for your payouts. I have good news though, and it might mean nothing to be honest, but their website is back. In the very best case scenario, they open right back up where they left off and continue their business. And in the worst case, it was just a learning experience. And this is why today I will cover what other alternative we have out there, and I will be looking at 3 main criteria for each prop firm presented today. And as you know, I'm a little bit OCD with gathering data, so of course I had to create an Excel table for that. It's in the description, so go get it, it's free. Because inside this Excel table, I added a 4th criteria that people are totally forgetting to consider before buying a challenge with a prop firm. And this is the exact reason why I think myforexfunds didn't survive compared to other prop firms, and also the reason why we're seeing FTMO banning the US traders. So go check it out in the Excel. Let's start with the first criteria, and this is the most important one, the prop firm reputation. Even if a prop firm is giving you 100K challenge for $10, if you pass all the steps and finally get to the payout because you got some profit and they don't pay you, everything was just a waste of time. This is why this is my first criteria. To consider the reputation, I will be looking at the Trustpilot reviews, so I have a lot of data, and also the overall sentiment online, other YouTubers, other tweets. The second criteria I will be using to compare those prop firms is how difficult it is to pass their challenge. Like many other YouTubers, I will mainly be looking at the profit to drawdown ratio for that, and I will explain later what it is. However, I will also take into consideration the leverage they give and other restrictions you might have when going for their challenges, like not trading during news, for example. And my last criteria will finally be, of course, the price of those challenges. And I did a lot of research for this video, so a quick like and a subscribe is really all I'm asking for. Thank you very much. Let's start by looking at the first prop firm, one that is gaining a lot of momentum currently and I like very much, the Founding Engineer. I have to be honest, I really like their name and you might guess why, but what I like most is their transparency and their community. They keep on interviewing many of their traders, they show us their statistics, how many people are getting payouts and how much they're getting for each of those payouts. And I think it's very important for a prop firm to be transparent. On Trustpilot, you can see that based on almost 1,000 reviews, we got a very good score of 4.8 out of 5, which is very good to be honest. And I personally know many traders and many of my students are going towards this company. They have different programs and challenges, but the one I would personally go with is the standard challenge. It is a 2-phase program, very standard across all the different prop firms. The first phase is 10% drawdown, 8% profit, and the second phase is 10% drawdown and 5% profit, which gives a profit to drawdown ratio of 1.3. To get this number, I just summed the 8% profit of the first phase with the 5% profit of the second phase divided by the drawdown, which is 10%. And you also have access to the one-step challenge, which is a 6% drawdown and 10% profit. And I know it can be tempting to go with the one-step challenge, but the 6% drawdown can be very restrictive, to be honest, and cause a lot of psychological obstacles. So I would suggest just taking your time and going for a standard challenge. For the 100K, the price starts at $575 US at the time of this recording, but if I can give you a tip, keep on looking in their Discord or their social media because they offer very often some good discounts and promotions. So please don't pay this price, just wait, be patient, and they will for sure offer a discount code. The second prop firm we will cover is the 5%ers. I did a lot of research on this company because on YouTube at least, I don't see too many people talking about them compared to FTMO or the Founding Engineer for instance. But what I really like about the 5%ers is the fact that they are in business since 2016. I'm sure they evolved a lot since then and they maybe didn't offer challenges in the past, but the fact that they've been here for a long time is a good thing to me. On Trustpilot, they got a 4.8 out of 5 with 2,000 reviews, which is perfect. I looked at their challenges and I would personally go for the high stake challenge, which is also a 2-step program. Just like the Founding Engineer, we have a 1.3 profit to drawdown ratio because the first phase is 8% profit, 10% drawdown, and the second phase is 5% profit, 10% drawdown. Their 100K challenge is below $500 US, which is within the range of the other companies. And I don't personally know too many people with this company, but the simple fact that they are around since 2016 with good reviews is good enough for me to present it here. But let me know in the description if you're currently with them or you know people with them. The third company, which is really well known, is the TrueForexFunds. When you get on their website, the first thing you can see is how many payouts they're giving up to date. And at the time of recording, they gave almost $63 million to traders. On Trustpilot, they also got a 4.7 out of 5 based on almost 3,000 reviews, which is good enough for me. And you can either go with a 2-phase or 1-phase evaluation with them. But just like I explained previously, I would stay away from 1-step evaluation. Based on my experience at least, if you try to rush something, you really just end up wasting more time. So I would go with a 2-phase evaluation, which has the exact same criteria as the 2 other companies, and just take my time with it. The price of $550 is slightly above the average of the other prop firms though. And there is one thing I need to say about TrueForex Fund is that they were flagged by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. The CFTC is an independent US government agency, of course, once again the American government, and they don't like that TrueForex Fund isn't registered with them, so they flagged them. It is however written in the CFTC website that this doesn't mean that they are violating any rules or regulations though. They've just been red flagged, so keep that in mind. The next prop firm we'll cover is the Funded Trader. They are the company with the biggest amount of reviews on Trustpilot with 16,000 reviews. However, they also have the lowest grade with a 4.4 out of 5. And I looked online and I also heard that some traders had really big slippage with them when trading. I personally never traded with them, but I heard that when you're trading on the lower time frames, since you have smaller stop loss and bigger lots, you tend to have a lot of slippage. So pay attention to this. If you're trading on the higher time frames, maybe this isn't a big issue for you, but I would pay attention to this. They also have many types of challenges, but I would go with the standard Royal Challenge, which has the exact same criteria as the other prop firms we covered this far. The Funded Trader has one of the lowest fee for the 100k challenge. We start at $490 US. But stay on the lookout for some discount codes. They do offer many promotions. Finally, I couldn't make a list of recommended prop firms without adding FTMO to the list. Even if what happened with the US client is really unfortunate, they clearly stated that they plan on solving the issue and hopefully add back those US clients. And to be honest, I'm sure that the US traders count for a big portion of their clientele. So they really have everything to gain if they can add back those clients, as they bring in a lot of revenue for this company. And FTMO has been around since 2014, which just tells you everything about them. I personally think that they are the reference in terms of prop firms, but we're seeing some good competitors coming quickly. Their challenge is slightly harder than the other prop firms with a 10% profit target on the first phase, which increases their profit to drawdown ratio to a 1.5. And their challenge is the most expensive on the market at $600 US. One tip here, you can wait sometimes for some discount. They can give you like a 10% or 20%, I think. But overall, you won't see a lot of discounts with FTMO. With the 5%ers, they also have the highest rating with a 4.8 out of 5 based on almost 9,000 reviews. I will also give you a tip with FTMO. And as you maybe know, you're not allowed to trade during news. And the thing that is also very important to note is that if your take profit or your stop loss is triggered by a high impact news, this can be considered trading during the news. It doesn't matter if you open your trade 3 days ago or last week. If it closes while a high impact news is released, you might get in some trouble. So to solve that, FTMO offered the swing account. And this is the one I'm going for personally. With this account, you can trade during the news. And I'm not telling you this so that you go and trade during high impact news, you know. It's just an added precaution you can have so you don't need to worry too much about your break-even trade being triggered during a high impact news. The only downside here, I guess, is that your leverage goes from a 1 to 100 with a regular account to a 1 to 30. But I don't personally plan on opening many trades at the same time or over-risking. So for my own trading, a 1 to 30 is really all that I need. And you might not know exactly how to pass those challenges. Well, you can join our mentorship where we focus on journaling and real trading data. If not, you can simply watch this fun video I made on how you can make your own strategy even better using a trading journal. Alright, see you soon.